again, Day from allaboutstencils.com and designsfrompenny.com, and today we're doing something different with stencils. When you think about working with stencils, you think about putting paint into the openings of the stencils, and I want you to wipe that image totally out of your mind. We're going to be doing something very different. We're actually going to be creating items with them. For instance, I created this poinsettia napkin ring, and I want to show you how I did that. So, and I have a lot of other items that I want to show you how I made using stencil patterns. So let's get started. And of course, this is one of our Christmas art projects. So this project will have a Christmas theme to it, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, let's get started. Okay, I'm just going to kind of show you how I did these things. I think you'll get the idea of how it's done. I made so many things, it's going to take a little while, and I want to show you everything. So let's get started. First of all, as I showed you this cute napkin ring that I made with the poinsettia. This was done, and of course this was done with a free stencil at allaboutstencils.com. It's a poinsettia. Now, first of all, what I always tell people to do is when you print your stencils, before you cut out the design, cover it with a clear coating, and I use clear shelf liner. If you have clear packing tape, that's good. The reason to that is that now you have a permanent stencil. You can use this again and again. You can even clean it off if you want to, if you're going to use paint on it, but we're not doing that today. So anyway, what we're doing is normally you create your stencil and you cut it out, and then you're going to put paint in here. So this is what you're using. Today you're going to be using the piece that you cut out. There are things that you can do with those. So this is our pattern that we're using, and of course now we have this great stencil we can use for something else later on. Alright, now what I did for the poinsettia, and for the rest of the things too, just so that you'll know, is I had just regular felt. I put the poinsettia right on there. I traced it with a pen or a pencil, and then I cut it out. It's as easy as that. For the poinsettia, I used a red, a pink, a green, and a little bitty piece of yellow, something just about like that, if you can see it. Okay, then I took each piece. I took the red piece and I pinched it together with a little piece of yellow in there, and I used a little hot glue to kind of hold it together. Then when that dried, be real careful with that. That hot glue is hot. Anyway, I glued it to the pink, and then I glued it to the green, and then I glued that onto a ribbon so that I could tie that to my napkin. And there you have it. So you're creating objects with stencils. Anyway, that's one idea you could do with this, but there are plenty others. You could tie them onto gift wraps. Instead of a bow, you could use the poinsettia. Also, I did this with it. I put it on my candle holder. Now these are just the normal crystal candle holders that I have on my table year round. I just put a Christmas flair to it. Okay, now that's one project that I did using this method of the inside of the candle. The next one was, you know, when we have a lot of people at our house for Christmas, we might use place settings, and we have a special place for people. And those nameplates, I made this with it. And again, this is using a free stencil. It's your little placeholder. And it's just the angel, the free angel stencil at allaboutstencils.com. And what I did was I cut a little notch into the bottom of the angel stencil. And I made a semicircle. Now this is made with the stiff felt, as you might see. You can get this at a craft store. It's felt, it's just stiff. And I had white, but then I decided I wanted to make her gold, so I spray painted it. It's as easy as that. But I put a notch in the bottom of the angel, cut just a plain semicircle, notched that. Whoops. And you can see how she fits together, just like that, and stands up. So now your table is set, and everyone knows where they sit. So that's our little angel name placeholder. And again, that's a free stencil. The next thing we did was with a gingerbread man. And I made a lot of these little felt gingerbread men. Cut them out of, this is a dark brown felt. I have one with a light brown felt. And then I decorated them with some red felt. And these dots I made by punching a hole puncher into the red. It's much easier than cutting out all those circles. And there are a lot of things you could do with them. You may decorate them, make Christmas ornaments out of them. I mean, I don't know, you could think of all kinds of things. This is one thing I did. Have him hanging, instead of a bow or something, I have him hanging on this little Christmas bag. And you can see I painted him on there too. Anyway, that was another item. The last item I did was with some reindeer stencils that I have, and you can find these on allaboutstencils.com. I took the 2 reindeer and I put them together like this on stiff felt. I made 2 of them so that there would be 4 reindeer. I glued them together at the center by the arms right here. And I did it with the stiff felt so they sort of stand up. And what I did with this was made a centerpiece arrangement, as you'll see. Now, he's a little delicate, but let's see if I can get him to stand up. And there you go. I would recommend putting something to help him stand up. Either another piece of stiff felt, maybe a wooden dowel, something like that. You could put some ribbons around his neck. You could make this out of pieces of wood if you wanted. You could do almost anything with it. But this is just a general idea of another thing that you could do with the inside pieces from your stencils. And that's everything that I have. It's just to give you an idea that once you go through the trouble of cutting all this out, you might not want to throw this away. It's good for so many other different things. Okay, so now you have an idea that stencils can do so much more than just putting paint onto something. You can create items with them. So I want you to really think about the many different crafts that you can do with stencils. And I hope you enjoyed this Christmas art projects. I hope you come back to All About Stencils and Designs from Penny.com for many other projects, Christmas projects and year-round projects. Thanks so much. Goodbye.